She said, "I don't see why we need joint accounts after 3 years together." I said, "Makes sense." Then I calculated her half of everything. The utility bills in her name changed her perspective. Original post I-29 male have been with Sophia 27 for 3 years, living together for 2. And the whole time she's been adamant about keeping finances completely separate. "I don't see why we need joint accounts," she'd say whenever I brought it up. "What's mine is mine, what's yours is yours, it's cleaner that way." Cool, I respected that. I'm all for financial independence, except, here's the thing. Sophia makes about $85K at her marketing job. I make $62K as a project manager. Not a massive difference, but she definitely out-earns me. And she likes to remind me of this, subtly, constantly. "Maybe we should eat somewhere cheaper tonight, babe. I know money's tight for you." "Oh, that's a nice watch. Must have been a splurge on your salary." "Don't worry about getting me expensive gifts. I understand your situation." My situation? I live comfortably. I save money. I just don't make as much as her. But here's where it gets interesting. While preaching financial independence, Sophia somehow never noticed that I pay for literally everything house-related. Rent, $2,200 a month, just me. Internet, $80 a month, my account. Electricity, $150 a month, my name. Water trash, $75 a month, my account. Streaming services, $60 a month total, all mine. Groceries, $600 a month, I buy them all. Meanwhile, Sophia pays for her car payment, her personal shopping, her yoga classes. That's it. When I'd bring up splitting household expenses, she'd say, "But you were already paying these before I moved in. Why should I pay for your apartment?" The logic was incredible. She lives here, uses everything, but it's my apartment, so she shouldn't contribute? 3 weeks ago, we were at dinner with her friends. The check comes and Sophia loudly announces, "Separate checks, please. I believe in everyone paying their own way. No financial dependence in relationships." Her friend Melanie laughed. "Girl, you're so independent. Must be nice not dealing with money drama like couples with joint accounts." Sophia beamed. "Exactly. I don't understand women who merge finances with men. Keep your money separate, ladies. Always." I sat there, having just paid our $2,800 rent that morning, and smiled. That's when I decided, you want separate? You want independent? Let's do this properly. I went home and created a spreadsheet. Every single expense from the last 24 months, every utility bill, every grocery receipt, every streaming service she uses. Added it all up, divided by 2. Sophia's actual share of household expenses, $27,400. Amount Sophia has contributed, $0. But here's the kicker. I wasn't going to ask for back payment. I'm not petty. I was just going to start the fair split moving forward. 50-50 on everything household related. True financial independence. The next morning I presented her with the plan. "Hey babe, you're absolutely right about keeping finances separate. So I've drawn up a fair split of household expenses. Your half comes to about $450 per month." She laughed. Actually laughed. "That's funny, but seriously, what did you want to talk about?" "This is serious. If we're keeping finances separate, we should actually keep them separate. Equal partners, equal expenses." Her face went pale. But you've always paid those things, right? And you've always said we should be financially independent. So starting September 1st, I'll need your half of rent and utilities." "This is insane. You make less than me." I thought, what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours. My salary shouldn't matter if we're truly independent. She stormed off, didn't speak to me for 2 days. Then the real fun began. Update 1. The silence lasted exactly 48 hours. Then Sophia went into full manipulation mode. First, she tried the sweet approach, made my favorite dinner, wore that dress I like, kept telling me how much she loves living with me. "Babe, I've been thinking, you're right that I should contribute something. How about I buy groceries sometimes? That's included in the $1,450, half of everything." "But that's almost my entire fund budget." "Your fund budget? You make $85K a year." She literally said, "Yeah, but I have expenses. My car, my credit cards, my shopping, my activities. So do I. Plus I've been covering your housing for 2 years." Then came the guilt trips. Oh boy, the guilt trips. "I thought you loved me." "I do. That's why I've been subsidizing your lifestyle for 2 years. Money shouldn't matter in relationships. You're the one who insisted on keeping finances separate." This is financial abuse. Charging you half of the expenses for the place you live is abuse? She even called her mom, Eleanor, who called me to lecture me about being a provider and how real men don't nickel and dime their girlfriends. Eleanor, your daughter makes $23,000 more than me annually. That doesn't matter. You should be happy to take care of her. Like she's been happy to take care of me? Click. But the best part came when Sophia talked to her friends. She went to lunch with Melanie, Brittany, and Jessica, fully expecting them to bash me. Plot twist. Brittany's an accountant. Brittany did the math right there at brunch. When she realized I'd been paying about $2,900 per month for joint expenses while Sophia paid zero, she actually choked on her mimosa. Wait, you haven't been paying anything toward rent? Girl, my boyfriend makes twice what I do, and we still split 50-50. Melanie fee. That's like, he's been giving you $1,450 a month in free housing. That's insane. No wonder you can afford those Louboutins. Your housing is free. Sophia came home furious that her friends betrayed her. But I wasn't done. See, I'd been doing more thinking and planning. Sophia, I have a proposal. Since you don't want to pay half, I found a solution. Her eyes lit up. You're dropping this nonsense? No, I'm moving out. Found a great one-bedroom for $1,400. Moving October 1st. You can take over this lease or find your own place. You can't just leave. Why not? We're financially independent, remember? My lease, my choice. Where am I supposed to live? Wherever you can afford with your $85,000 salary. She tried everything then. Tears, threats, even called my mom. My mom, who's been divorced 3 times, just laughed and said, "Good for him." Then Sophia made a crucial mistake. She posted on social media. My boyfriend is kicking me out because I won't give him half my salary. Men are trash. I commented with screenshots of our expense breakdown. Every receipt, every bill, 2 years of me paying for everything while she saved and shopped. The comments were brutal. Girl, you haven't paid rent in 2 years? He's not asking for half your salary, he's asking you to pay your own way. Imagine making $85,000 and crying about paying rent. Her post disappeared within an hour. But the internet is forever. Someone screenshotted it, and it went semi-viral on Twitter as an example of entitlement culture. That's when Sophia panicked and agreed to pay her half. Fine, I'll pay the stupid $450. Happy? Actually, there's been a development. What now? I already signed the lease on the new place. The landlord here says you can apply to take over this one if you qualify. You'll need first, last, and security deposit. About $6,600. I don't have that. What happened to your $85,000 salary? I have expenses. Maybe you should have thought about that before refusing to pay rent for 2 years. The entitlement was off the charts. She genuinely thought she could live rent-free forever because that's how it's always been. Update 2. Things escalated fast after I signed my new lease. Sophia went from entitled to desperate to vindictive in the span of 72 hours. First, she tried to get the landlord on her side, called him crying about how I was abandoning her and leaving her homeless. The landlord, Dmitry, 65M, Russian, takes no BS, called me. Your girlfriend, she cried to me on phone, say you leave her with no place. She can apply to take over the lease, Dmitry. She makes $85,000 a year. She tell me she has no money for deposit. That's not my problem. I like this. You pay 2 years for her, she save nothing, she's not good tenant material. I find new people. Dmitry actually rejected her application. Said anyone who can't save money while living rent-free for 2 years is a financial liability. Then came the smear campaign. Sophia started telling everyone I was financially abusing her, that I trapped her, that I was controlling her with money. Her dad, Richard, even called me. This man who drives a Tesla and owns 3 investment properties tried to lecture me about taking advantage of his daughter. You should be ashamed, using money to control Sophie. Richard, I've been paying her rent for 2 years. She shouldn't have to pay. She's a woman. Your daughter makes $85,000. She's not a dependent. You're not a real man if you can't provide for your woman. Weird take from someone whose daughter brags about being independent. He hung up on me. But then Sophia made a tactical error. She went to our mutual friend group chat and tried to paint me as the villain. Posted this long message about how I was suddenly demanding money and making her homeless. Our friend Connor, who's a lawyer, responded, Wait, you haven't been paying rent this whole time? And now you're mad he wants you to pay half. He never asked before, so you thought free rent was just permanent? Our friend Aisha, girl, I make $45K and pay $1,100 in rent. You make almost double that and pay nothing? It's about the principle. Aisha, the principle of what? Mooching? The group chat turned on her. Even her closest friends were calling her out. Then came the extinction burst. Sorry, couldn't avoid using this term. She showed up at my work. My work. Security desk calls. There's a Sophia here, says it's an emergency. I go down. She's there with a U-Haul. I'm taking my stuff from the apartment. Your stuff? Sure. The TV, couch, bed, dining table, and literally all furniture are mine though. We bought those together. I have receipts showing I paid for everything. You can't leave me with nothing. You left yourself with nothing by saving $0 while living rent-free. She tried to get into the apartment when I wasn't home. The landlord called me. Your girlfriend, she tried to use key. I changed locks already for new tenant next month. Then the real desperation kicked in. She applied for the apartment but needed a co-signer since she'd blown through her savings on designer goods. Her parents refused because she should be living with a man who provides. The irony. They raised her to be independent but also expect men to pay for everything. September 15th, 2 weeks before move-out, Sophia comes to me with an offer. What if we got joint accounts? What? I've been thinking. You're right. Couples should share expenses. Let's get joint accounts, combine everything. I laughed. Actually laughed out loud. Now you want joint accounts when I'm moving out? We could make this work. True partnership. Sophia, you want joint accounts now because you've realized you can't afford to live alone. That's not partnership, that's desperation. Please, I can't afford a decent place on my own. You make $85K. My car payment is $700. My credit cards are like $500 a month. My yoga is $200. And that's my problem, how? She then hit me with, if you loved me, you'd help me. I did help you, for 2 years. You saved none of it. The manipulation attempts got wilder. She said she was pregnant, she wasn't, claimed she'd been paying utilities all along, bank statements proved otherwise. Threatened to sue me for unlawful eviction. Connor laughed when she called him for legal advice. Told people I'd been financially abusing her by checks notes. Paying all her living expenses on her. The week before I moved out, she brought by her new boyfriend. Yeah, new boyfriend. Been dating him for 2 weeks. Some guy named Trent who drives a Porsche. Trent's gonna take care of me properly, like a real man. Trent looked at the apartment, saw the rent price, did the math on his phone, and said, babe, I can't afford this place. But you have a Porsche. It's leased. I make like $50K. She thought the Porsche meant money. Nope. Just means he's bad with money. They left together, her crying, him looking confused. Moving day. I'm loading boxes. Sophia shows up one last time. I'll pay it all the back rent, everything. Just stay. With what money? I'll get a loan. To pay back rent? That's insane. Please, I'm gonna be homeless. You make $85K a year, you're gonna be fine. I'm not. I can't afford anything decent. Maybe you should have thought about that during the 2 years you were living for free. She actually dropped to her knees, in the parking lot, in front of neighbors. Please, I love you. You love free rent. I drove away. She was still in the parking lot, calling everyone she knew, trying to find someone to let her move in. Final update. It's been 2 months since I moved out. Time for the final update on this saga. My new place is fantastic. Smaller, yeah, but it's mine. Every bill I pay is for me. No one taking advantage. The mental peace is worth the downgrade in square footage. Sophia's situation? Well, remember how she couldn't afford the deposit for the apartment? And her parents wouldn't co-sign? And Trent with his leased Porsche was broke? She ended up having to move in with Brittany. Yeah, her friend who called her out at brunch. Brittany charges her $800 per month for a room. A room. Not an apartment. A room in Brittany's house. But here's the thing. Brittany actually makes her pay. On time. Every month. No excuses. Sophia lasted 3 weeks before having a meltdown about how everyone's obsessed with money and real friends don't charge each other. Brittany posted their text exchange on social media. Sophia, I can't believe you're being so rigid about rent. We're supposed to be friends. We are friends. That's why I'm only charging you $800 for a room that should be $1,200. Sophie, this is exploitation. Girl, you lived free for 2 years. You have no idea what exploitation means. I'm going through a hard time. The hard time of having to pay for housing like every other adult. The post went viral in our circle. Everyone was sharing their numbers. Sophia tried to live with me for free stories. Turns out, she'd approached basically everyone. Connor, the lawyer, she offered to be his live-in assistant in exchange for free room. He declined. Aisha, Sophia said she'd help with chores instead of paying rent. Aisha laughed her out of the apartment. Even Trent's mom, she asked if she could move into Trent's mom's basement. The woman said, I don't even let Trent live here free. But the ultimate karma came last week. I got a text from an unknown number. It was Eleanor, Sophia's mom. We need to talk about Sophie. I met her for coffee, curiosity getting the better of me. Eleanor, Sophie's living situation is unstable. Okay? Richard and I were wondering if you'd consider taking her back. Absolutely not. We'll help with her expenses. Now you want to help? Where was this energy when she needed apartment deposits? We thought she was being dramatic, but she showed us the real expenses, and how did you afford all that? It's called budgeting. Living within means. Not buying designer bags every month. She's our daughter. We just want her happy. She was happy. Living for free for 2 years. Now she has to be an adult. Eleanor then dropped this bomb. She's been borrowing money from everyone. She owes Brittany 3 months' rent, borrowed $2,000 from Melanie, $1,500 from her cousin. How? She makes $85K. Credit card debt. She's been living on credit since you left, maintaining the lifestyle without the free rent. The woman who preached financial independence is now in debt to everyone she knows. I felt bad for exactly 2.3 seconds. Then I remembered her real man comments and the manipulation and felt fine. Yesterday, the final twist. Sophia texts me from her actual number. Can we talk? About? I've been thinking. You were right about the joint accounts. Sophia, no. Hear me out. I've learned my lesson. True partnership means sharing everything. I want to combine our finances. You want access to my money? No, I want us to be equals. Equals? You're in debt to half the city. I made mistakes, but I understand now. Couples should support each other. Support? Like how you supported me for 2 years? I was wrong. I see that now. What you see is that you can't maintain your lifestyle without someone else paying your bills. That's not true. What's your current debt? Long pause. About 18K. 18,000 in 2 months? I had to maintain appearances. My job requires a certain image. Your marketing job requires Gucci bags? You wouldn't understand. I understand perfectly. You want joint accounts now that you're drowning in debt. You want me to be your life raft. Is it wrong to want support from someone who claims to love you? Is it wrong to want contribution from someone who actually loves you? She blocked me after that. But I know from mutual friends, she's looking for a second job. Brittany's evicting her for non-payment. Her parents finally agreed to let her move home. If she pays them $500 her month, Trent dumped her when she asked him to co-sign for a car loan. She's selling her designer goods on Marketplace. Her credit score tanked. The woman who believed in financial independence is learning what that actually means. No safety nets, no one else's money. Just your own choices and their consequences. My favorite part? Last week, one of her coworkers reached out to me on LinkedIn, said Sophia had been telling everyone about her abusive ex who used money to control her. The coworker, but then we did the math on what you were paying versus what she was contributing and, dude, you're a saint for lasting 2 years. Even strangers can see through the BS. As for me, I'm doing great. Smaller apartment, but bigger peace of mind. Dating someone new, 28F, who insisted on splitting our first date bill because that's what adults do. When I told her this whole story, she said, wait, she lived rent-free for 2 years and complained when you asked for half. The audacity. Casey also makes more than me. She's in tech, makes about 95K. Know what she said when I mentioned it? Cool means we can split a nicer place when we're ready. That's a partner. Sophia, still posting quotes about knowing your worth and never settling on Instagram, while living in her childhood bedroom at 27. making 85K, because she can't afford rent after buying too many bags. The joke really does write itself. To everyone saying I should have just kept paying because love isn't about money, you're right. Love isn't about money. Which is exactly why someone who actually loved me wouldn't have watched me pay everything for 2 years while they saved nothing and contributed nothing. Equal partnership means equal contribution, whether that's financial, emotional, or domestic. Sophia wanted the benefits of traditional relationships, man pays everything, with the freedoms of modern ones, complete independence. Can't have both. Anyway, that's my story. Guy pays all bills for 2 years, asks for fairness, gets called abusive, she ends up in debt while he moves on. Karma really did the heavy lifting here. Peace out. Edit. Since people keep asking, yes, this is real. Yes, she really made 85K and saved none of it. Check out Personal Finance Subs. You'll find plenty of high earners living paycheck to paycheck because of lifestyle inflation. Making good money doesn't mean you're good with money.